This Saturday, we got the co-main event that honestly feels bigger than the main event itself. Pantoja versus Joshua Van. And bro, I don't know if it's just me, but this actually feels like a huge fight for the flyweight division. Joshua Van has momentum that we haven't seen at 125 in a very long time. The kid has a legit fan base already, real fans, and oh yeah, he's good, casual crowd. I'm talking about people who generally ride for Joshua Van like he's their guy. That's rare in a division. And honestly, I love it because this is the first time in forever that the flyweight division feels alive again. Van's style is just stupid entertaining. The counters, the head movements, the little dips and the weaves, the quick pops, the pop combinations. The dude is a dog. He fights in a way that actually sells fights. And here's the craziest part. If he becomes champion this Saturday, he's going to do it at the age of 24 years old. He might actually become the first true star in the flyweight division. Now look, I know a lot of people want Joshua Van to win, and honestly, it would be cool as hell if he did. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not. I actually think this is going to be a very competitive fight. I really do. But we got to keep it real for a second. He's going up against one of the best flyweights to ever exist, Alexandre Pantoja. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, dude. He's really freaking good. Like, Pantoja is the guy, you watch him fight, and you're like, bro, why is this dude so relentless? He doesn't slow down. I mean, yeah, he does. He kind of does slow down, but he gets a second win, and he keeps going. He doesn't panic. He doesn't fold. He's just a backpack, bro. If he gets your back, that's it. You're not escaping. You're just buying time until the round ends. And even if you survive, he's not discouraged. He's like, cool, we'll do it again the next round. And it's not even the grappling. The dude's stand-up is way better than people give him credit for. He throws with heat. He pressures. He mixes things up. He's not a one-dimensional fighter at all. Far from it. He's the type of fighter who makes you fight, bro. Now, I will say this. I do think the speed difference is going to be a huge factor in this fight. Pantoja is a dog, no doubt about it, but he's wide open for counters. He's never been known for his defense. He relies on his pressure, his toughness, and his scrambles, and is scrambling his way into dominant positions. But when you're facing someone like Joshua Van, that style can clip you. Van isn't just a fast flyweight. He's the fastest guy Pantoja has ever fought, period. The reactions, the reflexes, the way he sees punches coming, it's on a different level. And look, man, look at who Pantoja has faced. Moreno, Kai Kara-France, Royval, Steve Erceg. All good fighters, all great ones. But none of them counter the way that Vance does. Kai, he's a counter striker, sure, but he's more of a single shot, clean technical, not volume and this weird chaos that Joshua Van brings. Van's counters look automatic. He doesn't have to think about it. You hit air, and then before you reset, he's already landing a 1-2 on your chin. He slips, dips, fire back instantly. And the body shots he throws, nobody else in the division throws those with that type of speed and accuracy. The thing that makes Joshua Van so dangerous is how quick he resets. Most guys, after throwing a combo or slipping punches, need a second to, reposition. Not Van. He slips, he lands, he snaps right back into stance like nothing happened. That's what catches veterans off guard. They expect a pause, but there is no pause with him. If Pantoja blitzes recklessly, like he always does, Van's gonna tag him clean in those openings. And in a fight this fast, those clean counters can swing the entire rounds. Now, one thing that does get me a bit worried about Joshua Van in this matchup is the wrestling and the grappling defense. And don't get me wrong, he showed flashes of really solid work. I mean, every guy he's fought, he's been able to, stop takedowns and, get back up in his feet. He stays balanced. He fights the hands, and he doesn't accept being in bottom position like a lot of young fighters do. Plus, he's got that low center of gravity that naturally helps him stay upright and makes it harder for opponents to drag him down clean. We've seen him get taken down before. He bounces right back up to his feet without panic, which is impressive for a kid this early in his career. But when you really look deep, you start realizing why this part of the fight is still kind of concerning. Most of the people that Van has fought aren't elite grapplers. They're solid, well-rounded guys, but nobody with that suffocating championship level ground game. So yeah, his 81% takedown defense looks great, but that number is built against fighters who don't have the, timing of Pantoja or the scrambling ability or back take instinct. It's one to defend takedowns from a regular flyweight. It's a whole different thing when someone who's a specialist in breaking you on the mat gets his hand on you. Now, we got to keep this in mind, bro. This is the same guy who controlled Moreno, Steve Erceg, and he's getting better over time. I mean, Kai Asakura, okay, he's not the greatest fighter since he came to the UFC. But he was known for his decent takedown defense. And Pantoja just picked him up, submitted him. Same thing with Kai Kara France. He's hard to control. He's hard to take down. Pantoja was like, hold my beer. I'm going to take him down, and I'm going to make it look easy. Alexandre Pantoja is honestly getting better with time, okay? His grappling is better. We got to start respecting his skill set. And I think he might be a little too big for Joshua Van. I think once he takes him down, he's going to be able to control him a lot. And yes, I said that Van has a low center of gravity that may help him. But if Pantoja takes his back, it's basically he lost around there. He doesn't need to slam you or ragdoll you. He's just going to need one good entry, one good scramble, one opening, and suddenly you're surviving instead of fighting. Van has never fought someone who treats grappling positions the way that Pantoja does. Most fighters let you work. Pantoja does not. He chains things together, he'll stick to you like glue, and he forces you into bad spots. Even if the initial takedown was sloppy, that's high-level grappling experience you just can't fake. Another concerning thing that I find is the lack of offensive grappling that Van does have. He doesn't throw in submissions, he rarely shoots takedowns, and he doesn't reverse or sweep much, which means if he takes you down, his only real option is to stand up. That works until you're tired or until you're facing someone who's strong in the mat returns and backpacking. A guy like Pantoja, he can burn your legs out with just one takedown and one long scramble. It's not about the first takedown, it's about the chain after it. That's something that Van hasn't really been tested on. And I don't know, man. I want Joshua Van to win so bad. The division needs it. The fans want it. And it would be such a crazy moment for a 24-year-old to take out a dominant champion like Pantoja. But at the same time, I just have a hard time fully believing he's going to pull it off. There is a path for him, for sure. But it's one of those paths where everything has to go right. Van has to stay disciplined, stay off the cage, defend the back takes, and win those speed battles over and over and over again. That's a lot to ask when you're fighting a guy who drags people into deep waters every single time. And the thing is, Pantoja doesn't give you a clean moment. He doesn't give you time to breathe or time to reset. He's going to force Van into ugly spots, into scrambles, into positions where you just can't rely on speed alone. And that's where my doubt creeps in. We've never seen Van deal with this level of chaos from someone who actually knows what to do once he gets a hold of you. It's like he's not fighting a sloppy grappler. He's fighting a champion who's built actual real momentum through pressure. If Van slows down even a little bit or starts reacting instead of leading, Pantoja is going to capitalize instantly. But here's the path I keep coming back to. If Van can keep this fight clean, he could definitely win. If he forces Pantoja to strike for those long stretches, he can win. If he can avoid giving up his back and shutting down those few takedown entries, he can absolutely steal rounds and he can win by just beating Pantoja to the punch. Van has the faster hands, the sharper reactions, the cleaner boxing. If he turns this into a speed match instead of a scrambling heavy grind, Pantoja's age and miles might start showing late. Who knows? That's why this fight is so intriguing. Van can definitely shock the world if he just stays calm and keeps it upright. Still though, Pantoja is a monster, and that's what makes this fight so stressful because Van is so good. He's really good. But Pantoja, he's proven. He's beating champions. He's beating killers. He's beating veterans. He's fought every different style. Everything. He knows how to find a way, even when he's tired, hurt, or behind. So yeah, Joshua Van has a real shot, but he's also walking into the hardest test of his life. And that's why I'm torn because the path is there, but it's narrow. And Pantoja, he doesn't leave a lot of room for errors. If Van pulls it off, we're talking about one of the biggest flyweight moments ever. Not one of the biggest flyweight moment ever, okay? But I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. I'm picking Pantoja. I know. Everybody wants the young bull to take over, and trust me, I love that storyline too, and it can realistically still happen. But when I sit down and really think about it, I just trust what I've seen from Pantoja way more than what I'm hoping to see from Van. Pantoja is proven. I'm watching him go through the fire against Moreno, Royval, Kai, all these dudes, and he still finds a way to win. Van is exciting, he's flashy, he's dangerous, but there's still a lot of question marks. With Pantoja though, there's none. And the biggest thing is the grappling gap. Bro, I can't ignore it. On the feet, yeah, Van might be the faster guy. He might even look cleaner earlier. But the second Pantoja gets his hands on you, the whole dynamic of the fight changes. He doesn't need a beautiful double leg. He literally jumps on you on your back like a koala and just hangs there. Bro, he'll drag you into these ugly scrambles where you just can't breathe. You can't reset. And you're basically just trying to survive. And Van, as good as he is, he hasn't been tested by someone like that yet. Not even close. And another reason I'm siding with the champ too is the big fight experience, man. That shit matters. This isn't some quiet Apex card on a random Saturday. This is a pay-per-view co-main event. 5 rounds, bright lights, crowd going crazy, cameras everywhere. Pantoja's lived in that space. He knows how to manage the adrenaline dump. He knows how to fight through that oh crap, I'm tired moments. He's already done the championship round grind. Van hasn't. Again, I'm not saying he can't handle it, but Pantoja has already handled it. That counts for something. And here's the last thing for me. Pantoja doesn't need a perfect fight to win. He can lose minutes. He can get outlanded. He can look tired. And then boom, one takedown, one back take, one crazy scramble, and suddenly the whole round flips. Van, on the other hand, needs clean rounds. He needs to stay sharp. He needs to keep the fight on the feet. That's a narrow path. Over 25 minutes, man. I trust the guy who can win messy over the guy who needs to do everything to go right. So that's why Alexandre Pantoja is my pick. I think he's going to win either by a first or second round, early finish, or it's going to drag all the way to decision and he'll probably win unanimous to split. Because I do think Joshua Van is a dog. He's still going to bring the fire. And I think even with all the scrambles and takedowns, I do think he's going to be landing, his body shots, pa, 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 his counters, pa, 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 all this shit. But at the end of the day, I just think the experience is going to matter. And I think the grappling aspect of this fight is going to matter. After all, it's MMA. But I guess time will tell because we're going to find out this Saturday. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always, guys, I'll see you on my next one.